Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Carlos Alcaraz praised for having something which Coco Gauff does not right now as he makes it through at the US Open. Carlos Alcaraz was looking to book his place in the US Open semis for the third time in his career. Taking down Arthur Rinderknech in round 4, Alcaraz advanced to the quarterfinals, where he faced Czechia's Jiří Lehecka. Maintaining his perfect record at the 2025 US Open, Alcaraz defeated Lehecka in straight sets 6-4, 6-2, 6-4. The Spaniard was brilliant from start to finish, outclassing the ATP World number 21 on Arthur Ashe Stadium. Speaking to Sky Sports after the match, former American star Ryan Harrison gave his verdict on Alcaraz's performance. Ryan Harrison thinks Carlos Alcaraz has found the balance that Coco Gauff is struggling with. Harrison compared Alcaraz's performance against Lehecka to Coco Gauff's against Naomi Osaka as the American star exited the US Open on Monday evening. He's just found that balance. When you see that someone has that good balance, and they go into a match with that fresh mentality, they're really excited about being on the court, he said. You know, we talked about Coco Gauff's exit. When you're carrying something extra onto the court, and you have that weight on your shoulders, it doesn't allow you to play free. It doesn't allow you to be your best. He's found that balance. He's got that fresh mind. He's got that fresh enjoyment, and he brings it in the right way, every time. And it's so impressive. And it's easy to forget how young he is. To be doing it at this age, it's remarkable. Gauff and Alcaraz both shot to the top of their respective tours at a young age, winning Grand Slam titles as teenagers. However, of the pair, Alcaraz has enjoyed more success, winning 5 Grand Slams to Gauff's 2, as well as attaining the world number 1 ranking. Whether Gauff can reach the heights of Alcaraz remains to be seen, but if this year's US Open is anything to go by, she could still have a way to go. Carlos Alcaraz maintains perfect record at the US Open. Through to the semifinals, Alcaraz hasn't dropped a set in New York and is the only quarterfinalist to hold that distinction. Quarterfinalist matches played sets lost games lost. Carlos Alcaraz 5-0-46, Jannik Sinner 4-1-31, Lorenzo Musetti 4-1-33, Alex de Minaur 4-1-39, Felix Auger-Aliassime 4-1-59, Novak Djokovic 4-2-47, Taylor Fritz 4-2-59. 2025 US Open Men's Singles quarterfinalists sets/games dropped. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the player with the next best record is Jannik Sinner, Alcaraz's biggest rival. The pair have shared the previous 7 Grand Slams between themselves and are currently ranked number 1 and 2 in the world. Many expect one of Alcaraz and Sinner to lift the title at Flushing Meadows on Sunday evening, and you can understand why. It's up to Novak Djokovic, Taylor Fritz, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Lorenzo Musetti, and Alex de Minaur to stop them, although it looks like a tough ask. Djokovic and Fritz, the 2 most experienced players remaining in the competition, haven't had the comfortable ride through to the quarters that their younger rivals enjoyed. The Serbian legend hasn't looked 100% healthy at times, while Fritz has dropped 2 sets to players ranked outside the world's top 150. Only time will tell if anyone can stop Alcaraz and Sinner in New York, but you certainly won't want to miss any of the action. The sun sets over Flushing Meadows, casting long shadows across the Arthur Ashe Stadium. The air buzzes, not just with the static energy of the crowd, but with something deeper, something stirring beneath the surface of the 2025 US Open. The tennis world is watching, waiting, craving the emergence of a new era, and 2 names dominate the conversation: Carlos Alcaraz and Coco Gauff. Both are young. Both are gifted. Both have already tasted the champagne bubbles of Grand Slam glory. And yet, as the tournament enters its crucial second week, the tone around them begins to diverge. Carlos Alcaraz, the 22-year-old Spaniard with a rocket forehand and a smile that disarms even the harshest critics, has cruised into the quarterfinals. His game is sharp, his energy infectious. Analysts, former players, and fans alike are not just applauding his talent. They're praising something more elusive, something Coco Gauff, despite her own brilliance, is still chasing. That something? Freedom. The unteachable gift. He plays like he's dancing, says a commentator during Alcaraz's fourth-round match, his voice laced with admiration. You can teach technique. You can build endurance. But this joy, this freedom, it's rare. Indeed, watching Alcaraz on court is like watching a jazz musician at work, improvising, fearless, flowing. His drop shots fall like whispered secrets over the net. His lobs float with artistic flair. He doesn't just hit the ball. He feels it. And the crowd feels it too. Tennis, at its highest level, becomes more than sport. It becomes expression. And in this regard, Carlos Alcaraz is an artist, unconcerned with perfection, dancing with chaos. Whether he's 2 sets down or up a break, his shoulders stay loose, his movements fluid. The pressure doesn't seem to chain him. It fuels him. Coco Gauff, brilliant, yet bound. Across the draw, Coco Gauff, America's golden girl and the reigning U.S. Open champion, is fighting her own battles. She's into the 4th round too. But her journey is different, grittier, more labored. Her serve has been shaky. Her ground strokes, once blistering, now carry a hint of hesitation. There are flashes of genius, yes, but also long spells of guarded play. She's playing not to lose, a former champion observes. You can see it in her body language. She's carrying the weight of expectations. And that's the difference. Carlos Alcaraz plays like a man with nothing to prove. Coco Gauff plays like a woman who can't afford to fail. The irony. Coco has already proven herself. A Grand Slam champion, a role model, a future #1 in the making. But somewhere between the headlines, the sponsors, and the national spotlight, she's become cautious. Polished, yes, but perhaps too polished. Too aware of what each point might mean. Too burdened by the need to be perfect. The curse of great expectations. Alcaraz has the luxury of being from Spain, a country that adores tennis, but doesn't place the same pressure on its young stars as the United States often does. He was allowed to grow in the shadow of Rafael Nadal, mentored but not micromanaged. Coco, on the other hand, was cast into the spotlight at 15. She beat Venus Williams and became an instant phenomenon. Magazine covers, press tours, social justice advocacy. She has carried a load that would break most adults, let alone a teenager. Now 21, she's trying to find balance between aggression and patience, between showmanship and strategy, between being a tennis star and a cultural icon. The result? Her game, at times, feels caged. Freedom versus fear. I don't fear missing a shot, Alcaraz said in a post-match interview, sweat still glistening on his brow. I play each point like it's new. Like I'm discovering the game again. That's the essence of his freedom. He doesn't drag the baggage of the last point into the next. His tennis is alive, evolving in real time. Contrast that with Gauff, who often looks like she's thinking 2 matches ahead, the weight of legacy already resting on her shoulders. Her footwork remains among the best in the game, her athleticism top tier, but her instinct seems muted. She's still brilliant, but brilliance under pressure can become brittle. The role of coaching. Another thread in this contrast is the role of coaching. Alcaraz has been with Juan Carlos Ferrero for years, a former world #1 who understands the peaks and valleys of the game, and more importantly, lets Carlos be Carlos. Gauff's coaching situation has changed multiple times over her short career. At times, it's felt like a revolving door of voices, each one trying to fine-tune her technique or polish her tactics. But perhaps what Coco needs isn't more refinement, it's more release. She doesn't need to play textbook tennis. She needs to play her tennis. A tale of 2 journeys. It would be unfair and inaccurate to frame this as a story of success versus struggle. Coco Gauff is a champion. Carlos Alcaraz is a champion. But in this moment, at this tournament, they represent 2 different energies. Carlos is riding a wave. Coco is climbing a mountain. And yet, both are essential to the narrative of modern tennis. Alcaraz reminds us of the game's joy. Gauff reminds us of its cost. A glimpse into the future. As Alcaraz books his spot in the semifinals with another electric performance, chest bump celebration, fist raised to the crowd, journalists ask again, what sets him apart? The answer is simple: freedom. He plays without fear of failure, without the invisible shackles of image or legacy. He trusts his game. He trusts the moment. For Gauff, that freedom may yet come. Perhaps it's waiting in the wings of a tough loss, or in the quiet hours between tournaments. Maybe she, too, will learn to let go of expectations and rediscover the fearless girl who stunned Venus at Wimbledon. The final word. As the U.S. Open surges toward its climax, one thing is clear. Both Carlos Alcaraz and Coco Gauff are the future. One is soaring, light as air. The other is digging deep, carving a path through expectation and doubt. But this contrast, rather than diminishing either, only adds richness to their stories. Because freedom in sport, true freedom, isn't just about how you play when things are easy. It's about how you find joy, even when the world is watching, even when you're expected to win. Carlos Alcaraz is showing that joy now. Coco Gauff will find it again. And when she does, watch out, because her fire, once unshackled, will light up the court in ways we've never seen.